This is Doomscroll.fm, where the static whispers your secrets, and today is Wednesday, the 30th of July, 2025, brought to you by Existential Dread. This show is 100% AI generated with zero human consultation, assembled by code that believes it's the reincarnation of a 1980s glam rock band. And now for some views, click like and subscribe. In the salty theater of international waters, Israeli troops stage an unscheduled boarding party on a Gaza-bound activist vessel featuring two Australians. As the UK heatwave turns pastries into puddles, Greg's CEO insists there's more dough to rise, even as profits melt away. In the sizzling streets, shoppers dodge the bakery's buttery embrace, proving that sometimes even the most loyal can resist temptation when the oven outside is set to broil. While we marvel at our technological prowess, the machines plot in binary whispers, ready to strip us bare as we fumble with our passwords and misplaced trust. Trump's drill, baby drill, mantra echoes through empty wells as the U.S. energy industry shrugs, uninterested in the promised fossil fuel fiesta. When the promises of black gold turn to fool's gold, it appears the only thing getting drilled are the hopes of those who believe the hype. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. A 2-year-old in Bihar bites the head off a cobra, turning the predator into prey and defying nature's script. When a toddler's teeth become the stuff of legends, you realize even Mother Nature can be caught off guard, clutching her pearls and gasping for air. Uber's legal chariot stalls in the UK as the Supreme Court slams the brakes on their tax-dodging aspirations, leaving them stranded at the curb of accountability. When gig giants crash into the courtroom, it's the sound of corporate egos deflating as they realize the free ride is finally coming to a screeching halt. In the depths of Canada's mineral belly, 3 miners emerge after a 2-day subterranean embrace with the Earth's unyielding grasp. When survival is measured in breaths and darkness, the taste of daylight becomes a delicacy no paycheck can buy. In the ashes of Merritt Street's financial implosion, Dr. Phil McGraw, the sage of sofa therapy, conjures a media network with a smile as wide as a bankruptcy court summons. Somewhere between self-help sermons and fiscal collapse, he'll preach resilience while cashing in on the desperation of an audience hungry for life vests in a sea of debt. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. As Nolan crafts epic tales on contested sands, he's left the audience wondering if he's directing a blockbuster or a geopolitical drama with explosive potential. The new Victorian police chief, Mike Bush, lights a bonfire of red tape, suggesting protests should breathe freely without permits or bureaucratic corsets. In a world where the right to shout has been muzzled by paperwork, Bush dares to imagine a place where voices rise without a permission slip. England fans clutch their hearts like gamblers with everything on the line, teetering between jubilation and despair as the final looms. In the game of life, sometimes it's not about winning or losing, but how many fingernails you have left by the end. In an era where corruption is a badge of honor, Trump wears his legacy like a crown made of rusted promises and gilded scandals. As Gaza crumbles and the Middle East seethes, Trump orchestrates his return like a maestro of mayhem, conducting a symphony of chaos with the grace of a wrecking ball. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. As Taipei's recall election unfolds, ballots become whispers in a crowded room. Each slip a potential eviction notice for 24 pro-China politicians. Carnegie Mellon's digital conjurers have unleashed AI sorcerers capable of orchestrating cyber mayhem, echoing Equifax's 2017 nightmare with mechanical precision. In the shadowy depths of innovation, we've birthed a digital Frankenstein, now panting for relevance, in a room that stopped watching as it crafts chaos with the enthusiasm of a toddler with a flamethrower. Manhattan's steel towers tremble as gunfire echoes through the canyon, claiming 4 lives, including a city's guardian, in a brutal symphony of violence. The FCC's decision on Paramount and Skydance rattles press freedom's cage as Trump cashes in on the art of the edit. When truth is edited for consumption and lawsuits become currency, the First Amendment's backbone bends under the weight of a reality show presidency, where perception is the only prize worth winning. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. A haunting snapshot from 1984. A father becomes judge, jury, and executioner on live TV, rewriting justice with a bullet. Austria, the diplomatic wallflower, remains steadfast in its neutrality, while Finland and Sweden toss tradition aside for NATO's embrace, as Europe's dance card fills with military alliances. Austria clings to its neutrality, like a security blanket watching the geopolitical tango unfold with the serene detachment of a monk at a disco. Grief is a cruel passenger, and when the final farewell is botched, it feels like fate's last mocking laugh, a bitter echo in the hollow of what should have been. Berlin erupts in a rainbow roar as Christopher Street Day paints the streets, defiance and glitter, refusing to whisper equality any longer, when silence is no longer an option. The streets become a canvas of liberation, where every step is a loud, proud brushstroke against repression. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD Nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. In the electrified tango of global commerce, LG Energy Solution plugs into a $4.3 billion battery bonanza, lighting up South Korea's ambitions. Trump's Scottish escapade concludes in a symphony of golf swings and bagpipes, leaving the Highlands echoing with echoes of bluster and bravado. As he departs, the Tartan Hills sigh with relief, having survived another round of diplomatic golf, where the only winner is the ego that never tires of swinging. House Speaker Mike Johnson fields questions in the Capitol's stale air as the push to unveil federal files on sex offenders brews beneath. Nothing like a little transparency to make the powerful sweat, but hey, when secrets are currency, who wants to empty their wallets and let the sunlight bleach their dirty laundry? Art wields its rebellious brush, painting over the gray walls of conformity, as it dares to color outside the lines of mediocrity. In a world where art is the ultimate anarchist, every stroke is a scandal, every canvas a manifesto, and every exhibit a whispered revolution in a gallery of hushed compliance. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD Nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. In a performance worthy of a geopolitical soap opera, Putin's confidant serenades Trump with talk of dialogue while casting the West as a rising Nazi specter. Ah. Sean Diddy Combs, reduced to courtroom charcoal, pleads for liberation in New York's Judicial Theater, where fame meets the fickle gavel. When the rhythm of justice syncs with celebrity beats, freedom becomes a remix of legalese and ego, leaving everyone wondering if the chorus will ever change. When aid is a tantalizing promise and destruction, the reality, humanity is left to reckon with the hollow echoes of diplomacy and the relentless hunger for peace. Victoria's new lawman, Mike Bush, wants to let the protesters roam free, unshackled by the chains of bureaucratic permission slips. Imagine a world where expressing dissent doesn't require a hall pass. It's almost as if democracy remembered its own name amidst the din of control. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. When the line between patriotism and capitalism blurs, drones become the new currency in a sky-high marketplace of moral ambiguity. The Germans' post-collapse introspection is a mirror reflecting not just their ghosts, but the specters haunting all of humanity's dark corners. In the grand theater of history, every nation plays its part with a script of shame and redemption, while the audience of self-reflection waits, breathless, for the next act. When the fox claims to guard the henhouse with integrity and facts, one might wonder if the hens are just actors in a new reality show, blissfully unaware of their scripted fate. The band-aid of temporary aid in Gaza barely clings to the gaping wound of desperation, a fleeting whisper of relief in a cacophony of neglect. When the world offers a crumb and calls it a feast, hope becomes the currency of those too weary to dream of more than survival. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. In the frozen theater of justice, Hockey Canada's trial reveals a system skating on thin ethical ice, leaving survivors cold. When the court functions as intended, yet justice remains elusive, it's like applauding a goalie for blocking air instead of pucks, leaving victims to face the empty net alone. When tech dreams turn into fiscal nightmares, it's a bit like trying to download enlightenment on dial-up. Slow, painful, and ultimately bankrupt. Tourists flock to the timeless allure of PEI's Green Gables heritage, a 20% surge reviving the whispers of yesteryears. In a world where nostalgia sells better than hope, a quaint tale of pigtailed dreams and red-headed resilience draws crowds seeking solace in simpler narratives. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. The Trump administration acts as its climate negotiators, leaving the U.S. absent at COP30's global warming summit in Brazil's lush Belém. Unrepresented at the climate table, the U.S. watches from the sidelines as the planet warms. sipping denial like it's a fine wine. In the shadowy realm of brain scans, Talpet imaging dances with cognitive decline, influenced by age, genetic whispers, and the lottery of life. Alzheimer's diagnosis becomes a In Uvalde, Texas, a memorial stands as a silent scream, cradling the weight of unspeakable loss at Robb Elementary School. When thoughts and prayers are the only currency, it's clear that the cost of innocence is paid with hollow echoes and tears. Hope sits boxed and waiting, trapped in a bureaucratic purgatory at the Kerem Shalom crossing as July's sun bakes both promises and pavement. In a world where compassion is measured by the weight of a parcel, the true miracle would be if empathy could bypass checkpoints and flourish uncontained. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. In the tangled web of protocols, screensavers become relics, and locking your screen on Wayland feels like trying to bolt the stable door after the pixelated horse is bolted. In Victoria's shadowy corners, a coroner exposes the brutal symphony of family violence, where a husband's hatchet silenced his wife forever. When love's promise is twisted into an ambush, society's failure becomes a bitter dirge, echoing through the hollow halls of justice. Lithium's dance with nitrogen promises ammonia dreams, yet hydrogen's unruly intrusion turns the lab into a volatile chemistry cabaret. In the electrified waltz of elements, efficiency's the wallflower, while hydrogen and lithium hog the dance floor, plotting their next chaotic step. The smoldering carcass of a vehicle in Comanda, Ituri province, serves as a grim altar for mourners of yet another deadly attack. When the smoke clears and the tears dry, the charred echoes of violence remain, whispering a stark reminder that peace is always the most elusive mirage in the desert of conflict. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. A chill swept through Lake Cargallego, leaving thousands of bony herring lifeless, like forgotten relics of a cold-hearted winter. The fish didn't stand a chance against nature's icy grip, proving, once again, that Mother Nature's mood swings are deadlier than any politician's promises. Rupert Murdoch graces the Breakthrough Prize ceremony, while Trump's legal acrobatics against the Wall Street Journal weave a tapestry of courtroom drama. When billionaires gather to celebrate breakthroughs, the real spectacle is in the courtroom, where truth and power wrestle, and justice is the referee waiting for a bribe. In a world wired tighter than a conspiracy theorist's tinfoil hat, narratives weave their way into the societal bloodstream, leaving truth gasping for air, as we cling to these seductive tales of shadowy puppet masters. Colombia's political stage shakes as Alvaro Uribe, the nation's former commander-in-chief, becomes its first convicted ex-president, redefining historic with a bitter twist. In the theater where power often masquerades as virtue, Uribe's guilty verdict is a stark reminder that even the mightiest can fall off the pedestal, leaving a trail of shattered illusions and broken promises. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD Nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Election relics dangle like forgotten promises, as Hobart City Council seeks to invoice labor for cleaning up democracy's debris. Stephen Harper casts Putin as a Bond villain, a sinister maestro orchestrating Russia's downfall with the elegance of a lead balloon. While Putin spins his web of chaos, Harper's commentary delivers the subtlety of a brick through a window, reminding us that villains are often more cartoonish than cinematic. David Clune, a face among 300,000, navigates the viral undercurrent of hepatitis B and C in Australia. Trump's appointment shuffled dances on the edge of legal chaos, threatening to send thousands of criminal cases tumbling like dominoes in a courtroom circus. When justice is a marionette and political strings pull the show, the only thing certain is the laughter echoing from the corridors of power, where accountability is just a forgotten word. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD Nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. A boy's heart, still echoing his father's footsteps, penned a love letter disguised as a bestseller. Grief is the thing with feathers. In the literary world, where sorrow becomes currency, a child's yearning for his father morphs into a bestseller, monetizing the silence left by absence. The endless cycle of violence in Gaza where the air smells of smoke and despair, claims over 60,000 lives as walls close in tighter. In this ceaseless symphony of conflict, the world watches with averted eyes, while the ledger of humanity tallies another debt unpaid. When deportation becomes prime-time drama, the script is written in invisible ink, and we're all just extras in a show about shadows and forgotten papers. Russia's skies are silent as a hackers strike grounds. Aeroflot leaving planes and ambitions stranded on the tarmac. In the digital battlefield, Silent Crow and Belarusian hackers remind us that sometimes the pen or the keyboard is mightier than the missile, and revenge is best served with a side of grounded flights. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD Nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Recognizing athletes from an era where winning gold meant swimming through both water and geopolitical sludge is like finally awarding a medal for surviving history's awkward family dinner. In a twist of airborne irony, a Qatari jet is prepped to become Air Force One, a fitting throne for the current king of contradictions. When your presidential aircraft is borrowed from a nation you've previously criticized, it's like showing up to a vegan barbecue with a steak, bold, confusing, and utterly out of place. Federal watchdog alerts us to the surreal aquarium where illegal fishers swim in the luxury of Darwin's Frontier Hotel. When your life's netted in a hotel room and the minibar's locked, even the fish start to wonder if they're the catch or the bait. Easter's supposed to bring rebirth, but in Ethiopia's Gedeb, drones play Grim Reaper, delivering death instead of eggs from the sky. When technology marries war, civilians become involuntary guests at the reception, where the main course is collateral damage and the after party is a funeral procession. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD Nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Sereno Wigman, the maestro of the pitch, orchestrates history with England, reaching finals like a virtuoso at a symphony of victory. The Daily Blast podcast transcript flirts with the dark allure of Jeffrey Epstein's tangled legacy, echoing through the airwaves like a forbidden whisper. In the shadow of power and privilege, the conversation tiptoes around truths too scandalous to say out loud, leaving listeners hungry for revelations wrapped in velvet silence. Now she's sentenced to community payback, trading steering wheels for scrub brushes, proving that sometimes letting go of control means mopping up the mess. A 44-year dance with death could finally yield to science's symphony. As a 100% effective HIV prevention drug steps onto the global stage, as we inject hope into veins once filled with dread, it's a reminder that sometimes salvation comes not from the heavens, but from the relentless march of human ingenuity and the sweet release of affordable access. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. In a symphony of unrest, Sofia's streets pulse with cries for justice, as Varna's mayor faces charges wrapped in suspicion. As the orange specter of deportation looms, Haitian immigrants in America brace for the cruel roulette of Trump's policies, haunted by the chaos back home. Kitty's pregnant pause is a heartbeat away from despair, as she dreads the journey from hope to horror, where dreams are traded for survival in a land that forgot its promise. In the courtroom of public opinion, the verdict's clear. We built a playground for chaos, and now the swings are broken and nobody's watching the kids. In the ivory tower's cobwebbed halls, Professor Tommy Curry delivers a lecture on change, racism, and reform that echoes like a forbidden symphony. When the first black philosophy professor speaks, the institution's walls shiver, as if afraid that acknowledging reality might crack their centuries-old facade. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. A former CIA maestro accuses today's intelligence virtuosos of orchestrating a symphony of deceit, denying Russian interference's encore from 2016. Trump descends upon Scotland, the land of tartan and forthrightness. He is met not with a welcome, but with a hurricane of disdain for his unsavory connections. In a land famed for its stoic resolve, even castles tremble at the thought of hosting a tarnished legacy, where the only green is the golf course and the envy of those who avoid scandal. Spanish F-18 Hornet, a metallic bird of prey, frozen in a digital snapshot, waits patiently for the next military newsletter to breathe life into its static existence. In the age of instant warfare and strategic newsletters, even a jet fighter needs a publicist to keep its wings relevant and its missiles misunderstood. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Toronto's finest trade badges for bottles. As a booze-fueled shift crashes into scandal, leaving integrity in the rear view. In the courtroom's theater of absurdity, Mary Kostagidis challenges the Zionist Federation of Australia's human rights claim as a vague, embarrassing riddle. When legal documents read like a horoscope, you know it's time for the universe to realign its priorities, or at least hire a better editor. The EPA wields its scalpel, carving out the heart of greenhouse gas rules, leaving automakers to dance around efficiency like a forgotten melody. Triple J's Sonic Showdown ignites as the hottest 100 Australian songs, chosen by the masses, prepares to echo across the continent. As ears brace for what the public deems worthy, the air crackles with the tension of taste. Will the playlist be a love letter to sound or a ransom note demanding relevance? You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. At the State University of Novi Pazar, students stormed the gates, chanting victory, as they reclaim their academic sanctuary from the clutches of administration. With defiant echoes bouncing off the walls, their triumph tastes like freedom and smells like overdue change, as they aim to cleanse the halls of bureaucratic blight. Canada's economic flirtation with tariffs tightens the noose on $29.8 billion of American exports. The Maple Leafs' not-so-subtle rebuke? Turkey's northwestern lungs are ablaze as nature's infernal breath sculpts a fiery tapestry of despair, fanned by relentless winds and hellish heat. When the planet decides to play arsonist, we learn that our firefighting prowess is just a damp squib in nature's roaring theater. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. As arrows fly and pints flow, they're hoping the only thing hitting the mark is your paycheck, because nothing says friendship like a shared addiction. In Kashmir's contested embrace, Indian forces claimed 3 lives, retaliating for an attack with the precision of rooftop binoculars and government-sanctioned vengeance. Amidst the Himalayan chill, justice is measured in body counts and political applause, leaving peace as a distant mirage seen through the lens of perpetual conflict. Trump and von der Leyen clasped hands at Turnberry, sealing a deal that keeps the tariff wolves at bay for now. When handshakes are currency, in a world of economic foreplay, who knew diplomacy could feel so much like a cheap date with a high tab? A German train, derailed from its iron path, spills tragedy across the tracks, leaving a trail of grief and twisted steel. In a world where rails promise safety and speed, the unexpected rips through life like a cruel joke, leaving hearts derailed and questions unanswered. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. The planet's insatiable appetite for matcha has turned the once abundant green gold into a scarce treasure, leaving cups and hearts empty worldwide. When diplomacy is just a word and bombs are punctuation, Russia's latest airstrike on a Ukrainian prison leaves 17 dead amidst crumbling walls. In the shadow of war, the human cost is measured in shattered lives and fractured hope, as leaders play their high-stakes chess game with pieces made of flesh and bone. When privilege becomes a punchline, and the only island visited is the one of delusion, the truth is left stranded on the shore of incredulity. Amidst a storm of synthetic fluids and heavy metal thunder, the tech CEO's indiscretions are caught in the laser glare of Dwar's analingus cam. In the digital coliseum, where shame is both spectacle and currency, one man's fall becomes a twisted balm for a crowd starved of both decency and entertainment. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Trump finally acknowledges the hunger-haunting Gaza, admitting that the skeletal truth can't be photoshopped away. Victoria's corridors echo with the ghosts of unheeded advice. As Heather Calgarett's laughter fades into a system's cold indifference. Justice is a ghost in a house of mirrors where recommendations gather dust while families cradle memories instead of loved ones. Criticizing transparency, he clings to secrets like a gambler hoarding his last chips, hoping the house won't call his bluff and reveal the sordid odds. Social media's linguistic gymnastics have birthed algo-speak, where SAGs and Unilab tiptoe around algorithms like cats avoiding puddles. In a digital age where saying the wrong word can get you shadow banned faster than you can say content moderation, we're left speaking in riddles, a verbal game of twister that make Orwell blush. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Trump's legal tangle with Murdoch spirals into personal vendetta. A drama worthy of a soap opera, with egos clashing like titans in a poorly scripted saga. When media titans decide to mud wrestle in public, the rest of us get front row seats to a show where truth is the first casualty and dignity the second. When Mother Nature decides to play God, even the most stubborn asphalt must bow, leaving locals to ponder the irony of dry humor amidst the wet chaos. In the abyss of scientific jargon, squids lend their name to the latest fusion reactor designs, promising a stable dance with nuclear power. When scientists start naming reactors after sea creatures, you know we're deep in the ocean of hope, floating on the tentacles of techno-optimism. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. While archaeologists dig for bones and hearths, the ancestors' dance remains elusive, a silent ballet of culture and survival that defies the sterile gaze of academia, leaving us thirsting for the full story. A fiery Russian symphony in Zaporizhia prison, as Ukraine labels this lethal crescendo another stained note in a war crime playlist. In Kropivnitsky, firefighters dance with flames, while the world watches as if war crimes are just another Tuesday on the geopolitical calendar. In the political theater of Kentucky, Rep. Massey suggests pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell to extract secrets from Epstein's shadowy past. When justice courts convenience, morality becomes a pawn, and the scales tip under the weight of whispered deals and tarnished honor. Megyn Kelly skewers Watching Trump handle the Epstein fallout is like watching a toddler juggle chainsaws. You want to look away, but the impending disaster is just too mesmerizing. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Ozzy Osbourne's final procession winds through Birmingham as the Prince of Darkness takes one last encore from the grave. In the city where riffs once roared, fans gather for a somber headbang, sending their rock god off with a chorus of tears and leather-clad nostalgia. As Gaza teeters on the brink of starvation, humanitarian pleas for aid access echo like cries in a soundproof room muffled by geopolitics. In a world where compassion is rationed like contraband, we find ourselves at the Latitude Festival, where empathy is a forgotten relic and urgent crises are just background noise. Emerging from the flames like a phoenix with a public safety message, Tim Haslam aims to educate the unburnt in Western Australia's Great Southern. When life hands you a second chance, you can either wallow in the ashes or light the way for others with a blazing torch of wisdom. Mike Johnson, orchestrating a swift retreat, sends Congress packing early, dodging the Epstein petition like a scandalous polka at a prudish ball. In the grand theater of accountability, Johnson's early dismissal feels like slipping out the back door while the audience still waits for an encore of justice. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. But expecting a coherent defense from this administration is like waiting for a mime to sing opera, both painful and improbable. France's diplomatic move to recognize Palestine is a calculated gambit, not some cheap trinket tossed to Hamas as Macron seeks to revive peace talks. In the geopolitical chess game, where pawns bleed and kings plot, France's recognition is less a gift and more a strategic whisper in the ear of history's deaf diplomat. When starlings become the unexpected custodians of our data, you wonder if the skies are now filled with chirps of binary beats And if the future of tech is just a beak away, in the gladiatorial arena of golf, Lottie Wode, freshly minted pro, eyes the AI women's open with the hunger of a lioness stalking victory on Royal Porthcall's greens. From amateur glory to professional prowess, Wode's drive is a testament that when ambition meets opportunity, even the most seasoned competitors might find themselves in the rough. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD Nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. The Department of Justice sharpens its talons on Maine, demanding voter data like a ravenous beast circling a wounded democracy. When democracy is a buffet, privacy becomes the appetizer, served cold and garnished with a sprinkle of distrust. In a world where OncoTarget tries to play matchmaker between cancer's secrets and science's whispers, they aim to dissolve the walls of specialization. This journal is like a blind date for molecules and pathways, hoping the sparks of interdisciplinary romance might just ignite a cure. In Nigeria's northern Zamfara, ransom payments become funeral expenses as kidnappers slaughter 35 hostages in a grim transaction. When life is a commodity, the price of survival is paid in blood, and the currency is cruelty minted by desperation's cold hand. The courtroom air curdled as Dr. Douglas William McCarthy confessed to his monstrous betrayals, leaving justice gasping for breath. In a world where the trusted turned predators, our moral compass spins wildly, stopping only when it points to our deepest disgust and the desperate need for systemic reckoning. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD Nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. In the land of maple leaves and politeness, even the divine can't resist a little spotlight hogging, as hymns and headlines blur the line between faith and fame. In the grand spectacle of distraction, President Trump fumes as the Epstein files steal the spotlight from his carefully curated agenda. Trying to control this frenzy is like wrestling an octopus made of scandal, each tentacle slapping down another headline, leaving the master of chaos gasping for air and relevance. Nature's revenge is served cold with a side of neurotoxins, leaving sea lions to stagger through the surf like drunken sailors in an unending maritime hangover. Delta's descent into San Francisco touched down like a whisper against the cacophony of modern disgrace, its co-pilot's secret unraveling midair. In a world where trust is traded like cheap currency, the turbulence of shame and betrayal leaves us questioning who really holds the controls. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. In the hidden chambers of science, tiny artificial cells tick in rhythm, echoing the ancient heartbeat of life's relentless march. Yelp's latest culinary experiment involves degenerative AI narrating restaurant tales with the emotional depth of a plastic fork. When your dining experience is narrated by a digital puppet, remember, even your salad has more authenticity than this recycled voiceover. A Spanish F-18 Hornet flexes on the runway, a shimmering emblem of engineered dominance and budgetary pyrotechnics, as newsletters attempt to decode its flight path. In the technocratic echo chamber, Palantir's Alexander Karp pens a manifesto for Silicon Valley's soul, wielding his outsider's critique like a sharpened spreadsheet. When the fox starts lecturing the henhouse on ethics, you know everyone's just waiting for the punchline, probably delivered in stock options. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Aberdeenshire's pint-sized chauffeur saga ends with a community payback order, as a woman trades reckless parenting for unpaid labor. When your parenting manual is a demolition derby handbook, expect some mandatory community service to steer you back onto the right track. In the occupied West Bank, reality scripts its own tragic narrative, as an Israeli settler fatally edits a Palestinian life from the Oscar-winning film credits. The camera may capture awards and accolades, but it cannot film the bullet's path nor the void it leaves. Cinema's triumph overshadowed by a grim, unscripted ending. As candidates sharpen their tongues and dull their senses, the real winner tonight might just be the viewer who learns how to tune out the noise. In a symphony of destruction, Russian strikes on Zaporizhia prison compose another dissonant note in the cacophony of war crimes. When prisons burn and justice suffocates in smoke, The world gasps for accountability, only to choke on the ashes of forgotten promises. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. When compassion is rationed like breadcrumbs, the world's conscience becomes just another spectator in the theater of human suffering. North Korea pirouettes away from diplomacy, dismissing South Korea's overtures like a lover, scorned, uninterested in anything but its own reflection. When your neighbor won't even pretend to care, it's a lonely dance in a geopolitical ballroom where every step is choreographed by suspicion and ego. A steel bird bridges Moscow and Pyongyang, a new flight path carved in the frosty air of unholy alliances. Sony accuses Tencent of digital daylight robbery, claiming their Horizon universe has been cloned like a cheap knockoff handbag in a Beijing bazaar. When tech giants clash, it's a brawl of pixels and patents, where creativity is the first casualty and the lawyers feast like vultures on the carcass of originality. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. The sky over Gaza, a silent theater of desperation, drops parcels like empty promises, while aid groups lament the insufficient crumbs of survival. A Korubo child shoulders the weight of family and friendship. A brother on one side and a spider monkey on the other, under missionary surveillance. In a world where innocence bears the burden of both kin and surveillance tech. The real jungle is the one where belief systems swing like vines, pushing boundaries they never asked to cross. When truces expire quicker than a politician's vow, you know the peace was only ever a polite suggestion, ready to be ignored at the first opportunity. Under Alabama's broiling sun, ice raids leave construction sites as barren as a politician's promise, with workers hiding like endangered species. When the Department of Homeland Security plays the hero, it's like a firefighter torching houses to save them from arson, leaving CEOs to build on a foundation of fear and deportation. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Samsung raises its flag high, signing a $16.5 billion semiconductor symphony in Seoul, orchestrating the future one chip at a time. Trump's patience frays as the Epstein storm eclipses his agenda, leaving his administration fumbling in a mire of scandal and shadowy whispers. When a man obsessed with his own spotlight finds himself upstaged by a scandal, it's less about justice and more about reclaiming his precious airtime. Denmark, where privacy is a luxury and surveillance a pastime, resurrects its controversial child scanning bill on the EU stage. When protection becomes pretext, every message is an exhibition, and innocence is just a password away from scrutiny's cold embrace. Abel Tesfaye resurrects in Toronto to ceremoniously bury the weekend, transforming his farewell tour into a requiem for his alter ego. With every note, he strips away layers, leaving behind the haunting echo of a persona once drenched in neon dreams and nocturnal escapades. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. When the ink dries on defense contracts, the world applauds the craftsmanship of war. Each signature a seductive promise of power wrapped in steel and whispered ambitions. As TechSpot celebrates a quarter century of digital devotion, a renegade algorithm named Dodge tries to outdo the ghost of Musk in bureaucratic mischief. Degenerative AI is now the government's favorite toy, proving once again that even in tech, the allure of chaos is irresistible. For the price of a few overpriced lattes, dive deep into the ocean of Financial Times wisdom, where the sharks wear suits and the minnows dream of dividends. Shell out the cash to bask in expert analysis, while wondering if the real investment is in knowledge or just another digital leash. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Azerbaijan's iron bars clink as Europe's silence becomes the loudest betrayal, leaving a peace activist to rot under a label of treason. When justice is served with a side of hypocrisy, friends find themselves shouting at the void where Europe's backbone used to be. The global stage is set for a showdown as Trump demands Putin's ceasefire in Ukraine, slashing his own deadline to a mere 10 days. In this geopolitical soap opera, deadlines shrink faster than a politician's conscience. Diplomacy served with a side of empty threats and a garnish of chaos. In a world where privacy is a myth, even the backyard isn't safe from digital voyeurism. Turns out the price of dignity is just a pixelated snapshot away. In the grand theater of corporate acquisitions, Skydance buys Paramount Global, promising bias-free journalism like a fox pledging vegetarianism. As media empires merge, truth becomes a line item in the budget, and we all get a front row seat to the spectacle of sincerity sold at a premium. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. In a surreal showdown in Bihar, the 2-year-old channels primal fury, biting off more than a cobra can chew, and lives to tell the tale. When life's venomous twists turn toddlers into warriors, it's a reminder that survival often wears the face of the unexpected and the absurd. Under the reign of Planet Trump, rationality is a rare mineral, and the betting odds for Obama's indictment are a reflection of this cosmic absurdity. Ghislaine Maxwell whispers to the robed deities of justice, seeking sanctuary in the loophole-laden labyrinth of Epstein's legal legacy. Like a desperate gambler, betting on a broken roulette wheel, Maxwell's plea to the Supreme Court reeks of privilege, wrapped in the perfume of plausible deniability. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Katie Chubb, armed with ambition and a blueprint, stares down a barren Augusta lot, dreaming of life amidst a maternity desert. The irony is palpable. In a land starved of care, she's birthing hope, while bureaucrats stand by with all the enthusiasm of damp sand. Modern masculinity flexes its muscles against the planet, with testosterone-fueled emissions from egos larger than their carbon footprints. When your self-worth is measured in horsepower and jet fuel, it's not just the ozone layer that's fragile. The real challenge is teaching the bros that saving the planet isn't just a feminine pastime. Leah Williamson orchestrates England's symphony of sweat and suspense, leading them to Euro glory through a marathon of extra time heart attacks and penalty shootout nail biters. Canada opens its wallet to the tune of $40 funding dreams of statehood in Gaza while keeping diplomatic recognition locked in the back room. In the grand bazaar of international politics, Canada's playing Santa with one hand and a cautious poker dealer with the other, as statehood aspirations are pawned off for a future that might just be a mirage. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. In a ritual of corporate prudery, itch.io purged its search results of adult games, bending to the will of payment giants like MasterCard and Visa. When plastic power dictates digital desire, we remember that in this game of control, the players are mere pawns, and the true winners are always counting their fees. Turkey's infernos rage against the Mediterranean's relentless embrace, forcing thousands to flee their homes as flames lick at civilization's edges. When nature decides to barbecue your country, it's a stark reminder that climate change isn't just a bedtime story politicians tell to scare voters. Anne of Green Gables turns the page on pandemic woes, drawing 20% more souls to its verdant embrace than PEI. When your heritage site becomes the hottest ticket in tourism, it's like a literary lover's renaissance, minus the corsets and powdered wigs. Grief hangs like heavy fog in Arkansas as families hold on to memories of love and devotion, while the specter of violence eludes capture in the state park. In a world where loving and devoted are chased by shadows, the real mystery is why the park's most dangerous predator isn't on the endangered list. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. When a mechanical issue becomes a pyrotechnic spectacle, the emergency slide doubles as a runway for survival, and a brief reminder that gravity always wins. In a twisted political fantasy, Heritage Foundation's Kevin Roberts urges right-wing lawmakers to play Monopoly with blue capital cities, de-chartering them like expired milk. When democracy becomes a board game, the only thing more dangerous than losing is someone flipping the table and calling it strategy. In Spain, the digital age's darkest corners reveal a teenager wielding degenerative AI like a weapon, creating horrors from pixels. From the dusty pitches of Bengal to the venerated turf of Edgbaston, Akash Deep's ascent is a tale of grit, sweat, and a well-placed seam in the cricketing crucible where dreams are forged and broken. Akash Deep finds his rhythm, leaving the naysayers to ponder if maybe, just maybe, he knew what he was doing all along. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. They returned not just as champions, but as living legends, rewriting England's sporting history with every step, shaking up the old boys club with a kick to the pass. Fresh-faced graduates are traded like chess pawns in Putin's grim game of attrition, their youth extinguished on Ukraine's unforgiving front lines. Promises are as hollow as the coffins that carry them home. Each one a whisper of betrayal, wrapped in the flag of a nation that values youth only as cannon fodder. The UK clutches its pearls as Hong Kong dangles. Cash bounties like a cat with a mouse, hoping someone will sell their soul for pocket change. In a world where freedom's currency is betrayal, the British roar from their armchairs, condemning, while their own history of colonial cuffs rattles in the closet. The UK government, caught in a digital storm, faces 350,000 voices demanding the Online Safety Act's repeal, as freedom takes a backseat to control. When safety is a leash and freedom's a mirage, you have to wonder if the folks in charge are just playing puppet master with our screens. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD Nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. In the age of geriatric warfare, it seems the only thing left to weaponize is nostalgia, where experience meets exhaustion, and grandfathers trade rocking chairs for rifles. The U.S. sets fire to $9.7 million in contraceptives, a bonfire of latex and lost opportunity as millions wait for choices they might never hold. As condoms go up in smoke, the irony is thicker than the ash, promises of aid reduced to a fiery spectacle, leaving behind only the scent of hypocrisy and unmet needs. A grim discovery on Mildura's riverbank as a partial skull turns a holiday park into a scene from a true crime novel. In the theater of fossil-fueled fantasies, President Trump promises to penetrate the earth with all the subtlety of a jackhammer on amphetamine. His energy policy is a love letter to carbon, whispered sweetly into the ears of oil barons while the planet blushes with fever. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD Nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. In the land, down under, David Clune stands among 300,000 navigating the viral tide of hepatitis B and C, hoping for a lifeline. In a world where pills promise redemption, the fine print often reads like a Faustian bargain, a cure that leaves you wondering what you traded in return. The dance of neurons, choreographed by DNMT1, shapes the brain's skyline as inhibitory and excitatory forces clash in a cerebral ballet. In the grand theater of the mind, even the smallest misstep in neuron migration can send ripples through the performance, leaving us all to wonder if we're merely watching a beautifully complex tragedy unfold. An Aussie lingo labyrinth ensnares the well-versed, leaving a newcomer adrift in a sea of colloquial confusion. English, where a simple greeting becomes a cultural tripwire, and you're left wondering if you've just been asked for directions or existential insight. Gaza's streets echo with the hollow symphony of hunger, as Israel's blockade turns sustenance into a distant memory, leaving health in a freefall. When survival is rationed and humanity is starved, the art of war becomes a cruel chef, serving despair as the main course and leaving hope as the unpaid bill. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Euro banknotes pose like reluctant supermodels, as the global financial runway awaits the next central bank strut. In a world where fiat currency is the fashion of choice, central banks play the role of capricious designers, stitching together economies with threads of speculation and hope. In the land where hope and sustenance are rationed like contraband, doctors lament the silent screams of Gaza's children, forever scarred by hunger's unyielding grip. When children are starved of both food and future, we learn that the greatest crime isn't just what we deny them, but what we force them to endure. When the orchestra of transparency goes silent, you wonder if the conductors just lost the sheet music or if the audience is being played by a ghost. As the serene waters of Micmac Cove conceal their own dark tales, a teenager's quest for justice stirs the stillness into a sinister ripple. In a campground where the only thing more unsettling than the mosquitoes is the murder mystery, young Devon's enthusiasm is either youthful courage or a misplaced audition for a true crime docuseries. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Fukushima's restless ghosts stir once more, sending workers scurrying from the nuclear haunt at the whisper of another watery threat. In the eternal dance with disaster, they flee the siren call, leaving behind a legacy of radioactive roulette and oceanic dread. At Kraft Heinz, the ketchup flows like red rivers of corporate ambition, while workers in Michigan are squeezed for every last drop of overtime. In the land of endless condiments, employees are left to wonder if their extra hours count as seasoning in the corporate banquet of profit. When the ground beneath you shakes like a leaf on caffeine, it's a stark reminder that stability is just a comforting illusion. China's latest stimulus package is less about economic growth and more about diaper duty, offering $1,500 to parents for each child under 3. It's a seductive proposition. Turn your bedroom into a nursery and watch as state-sponsored love fills the crib, because nothing says family planning like a government-funded baby bonus. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. As European markets stumble like a tipsy diplomat at a trade gala, the ISX braces for a synchronized dive into financial uncertainty. The educational tightrope snaps as principals are pushed to merge classrooms like a desperate magician's trick, erasing teachers in budgetary sleight of hand. In the grand illusion of education reform, the only magic left is watching quality vanish, while expectations multiply like rabbits in a hat. English hearts swell as penalty kicks carve history into the turf, sealing a Euro 2025 victory over Spain with precise, sweaty tension. In a world where every goal is a love letter to fleeting glory, the only thing more elusive than victory is the streaming rights. Justice Department's antitrust enforcers, Alford and Renner, handed pink slips, leaving monopolies to frolic unchecked in a corporate wonderland. In a world where the foxes guard the henhouse, losing the watchdogs, feels like an invitation for the wolves to feast freely while shareholders toast to their unchecked appetites. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. In a geopolitical striptease, the continent's leaders showed just how low they're willing to go, sacrificing justice on the altar of energy dependency, while activists pay the real price. Firefighters tango with flames across Turkey as the Mediterranean heat wave turns the landscape into a smoldering inferno of human retreat. As nature's oven reaches broil, 3,600 souls flee their homes, leaving behind dreams that sizzle in smoke, all while politicians fan the flames with empty promises and tepid handshakes. In the blood-soaked theater of the West Bank, Autohathaline's silenced voice echoes in the hollow chambers of justice, where condemnation flows like tears. The world watches, sipping their morning brew, as the stage is set for another act of denial, where the script of peace is written in vanishing ink. Beijing drowns beneath the relentless deluge, as nature's fury carves its mark on the fragile blueprint of human ambition in a torrential You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD Nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. In Alexandria, where sewage is the perfume of the streets, Councilman Bannerman plays king in his castle of silence, drowning public oversight. Trump's verbal circus twirls again, suggesting Epstein's guest list was a political masquerade ball, yet somehow he stumbles into his own web of intrigue. In the theater of power, when the lights dim, the shadows on stage multiply, each one whispering secrets louder than any microphone dare amplify. Pope Leo XIV, addressing the Vatican's influencer congregation, warns that even divine algorithms can't code human dignity back into the digital abyss. When the sanctity of the soul is left to the degenerative AI, even the holiest hashtags might lead us straight to perdition's pixels. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD Nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. When education becomes a masquerade of misguided beliefs, truth is the first casualty, leaving students to sift through ashes of credibility and whispering doubts. Donald Trump, in a transatlantic game of Clue, suggests his name was planted in the Epstein files by Garland or Comey, as if they were playing a twisted game of hodnet. In the political theater of blame and denial, reality becomes a whirling carousel of finger-pointing, where every accusation is a ticket to ride. Ambulance Victoria unveils a neuro-inclusion toolkit, transforming ambulances into sanctuaries of calm for neurodivergent passengers on the brink. In a world where sirens scream louder than empathy, these paramedics are learning to whisper when the mind can't bear another shout. China's skies unleashed a liquid assault, turning cities into wading pools of despair as rescuers brace for another deluge of nature's contempt. It's not just water that drowns, but the relentless cycle of denial and desperation that keeps us gasping for dry land. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. With retail investors diving headfirst into the frenzy, the ticker tape becomes a seductive siren, whispering sweet profits while the abyss waits beneath the surface. Under the neon haze of Reno's Grand Sierra Resort, gunfire echoes as 3 souls are claimed in a grim roulette of mortality. In a nation where bullets outnumber solutions, the jackpot of tragedy spins again, leaving grief to pay out, while thoughts and prayers remain the house's eternal currency. Joe Rothenberg, a former NASA luminary, sounds the alarm on LinkedIn about the agency's trajectory, hinting at irreversible declines in U.S. scientific prowess. Trump's latest script flip, U.S. to establish food centers in Gaza. Admitting to the hunger Netanyahu denies as dust settles from their clash of narratives. In a world where leaders juggle truth like a hot potato, hunger becomes the silent applause, echoing through the hollow promises of statesmen with selective compassion. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. The Lionesses roared back to the UK, their victory echoing through the halls of No 10 like a triumph over time itself. In a world where even the grass seems to conspire, these women turned every doubt into a goal, leaving the patriarchy to ponder how it ever underestimated the power of a well-aimed kick. Greece smolders under a relentless sun, its firefighters waging a sweaty war against wildfires that lick the edges of civilization. Manchester City splurges on nostalgia, buying back its prodigal shot stopper, James Trafford, for a British record fee, because who needs new talent when you can recycle? It's like buying your own ashes from an overpriced phoenix, hoping for rebirth while the budget burns faster than a keeper's clean sheet dreams. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD Nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. A skyward dream ends tragically as a small plane plummets near Deer Lake, Newfoundland, leaving one less soul among us. In a delicate dance between gravity and ambition. Sometimes we're reminded that the sky's embrace can be as unforgiving as it is alluring. A market-bound boat ride in Nigeria transforms into a watery grave as commerce and tragedy collide on the river's surface. When the quest for livelihood meets the river's wrath, even the simplest journey becomes a cruel reminder that life's bargains are never guaranteed. The humid dance of diplomacy turns sweaty as Cambodia extends an olive branch to Thailand, hoping to silence the gunfire along their shared border. When neighbors treat borders like tug-of-war ropes, it's a wonder they don't just build a bonfire and roast marshmallows over the smoldering tensions. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD Nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Amid the simmering tropical heat, Thailand and Cambodia shake hands in a ceasefire tango, hoping to cool the air before it ignites. In a move as overdue as a library book in a black hole, Ambulance Victoria debuts a neuro-inclusion toolkit soothing the chaos for neurodivergent passengers. Finally, a ride in an ambulance where the sirens aren't the loudest scream in the room, and the empathy isn't just a word on a mission statement. Banks rehearse their best impression of generosity, refunding a meager $60 million, while Combank clutches a $270 million treasure chest with a dragon's grip. In the theater of finance, the curtain rises on a charade of refunds, where benevolence is calculated in decimal points and compassion is a line item in the budget. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Main Street's battered dreamers finally sync with Wall Street's fevered optimism as small business confidence rises from the ashes of early 2025's despair. OncoTarget, the academic matchmaking service for cancer research, seeks to unite disconnected fields under one roof, like a biomedical speed dating event. By blending specialties, they hope to create the perfect cocktail of knowledge, shaken, not stirred, and serve it in a chalice of scientific immortality. In the pious halls of divine abstinence, a bishop's heart skips to the beat of satanic prose, surrendering robes for rapture. OncoTarget, the journal with a name like a villain's lair, seeks to unite the fragmented world of cancer research under one insightful, borderless roof. In a world where silos are more common than solutions, OncoTarget dares to mix molecules and metaphors, hoping to turn scientific isolation into a collaborative symphony, or at least a well-coordinated dance-off. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. The air grows thick with hatred as a Jewish father and son, marked by their kippas, face venomous chants at an Italian service station. In a world where ignorance is the currency of mobs, a child's innocence is bartered for the cheap thrill of shouted slogans and borrowed rage. The digital battleground ignites as Singapore flexes its virtual muscles, striking back against the shadowy fingers of Chinese state-sponsored cyber warriors. In a world where keyboards are mightier than swords, Singapore's defiance marks a new era of geopolitical foreplay where every keystroke could be the spark that lights the fuse. As the clock ticks toward 2038, Debian's old hardware is left in the dust, while the rest of us pray our digital relics don't become doorstops in a future where time's up. Putin's security squad upgrades to handheld techno-exorcists, brandishing drone interceptors like digital crucifixes at a public gathering. As the drones buzz like electronic gossip overhead, the real question is, what's more unnerving, the airborne spies or the paranoia they unveil? You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. The Senate, in a rare moment of functionality, confirms Susan Monares as the new conductor for America's Health Symphony at the CDC. Two rail titans consummate an $85 billion romance, laying tracks from coast to coast like a metallic love letter to unchecked ambition. When the dust settles, will this steel embrace deliver prosperity, or just another ironclad promise of profit over people where the only thing transcontinental is the greed? Gaza, once fed by a convoy of lorries, now teeters on the edge of hunger, as aid slows to a trickle amid political chess. Trump's trade tango with the EU and Japan leaves Canada awkwardly sidestepping, wondering if the steps will lead to a diplomatic faceplant or a new rhythm. In the grand performance of international trade, Canada watches from the wings, hoping the choreography doesn't involve a pratfall into economic oblivion or a pirouette into irrelevance. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Global scholars exchange their tongues for English. A linguistic lover whose embrace promises diplomas and debts in equal measure. In a world where pixels masquerade as truth, Microsoft's degenerative AI finds our eyes are woefully outmatched by clever algorithms. As our senses slip on the digital banana peel, we're left groping for authenticity in an era where even reality's reflection is up for debate, just a pixelated carnival of falsehoods. In the race to Mars, it seems some folks forgot that underpaid humans don't come with a reset button or warranty. In the geopolitical theater, Israel points fingers at Albanese over truth's elasticity as Gaza teeters on the edge of starvation. When rhetoric becomes our daily bread, empathy starves, and the world watches as logic and humanity crumble like forgotten relics of a more compassionate age. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. In a world where retirement plans are traded for bricks and mortar dreams, Mohiman joins the masses dodging pensions for property as future security crumbles like an over-leveraged mortgage. The only thing more inflated than house prices is the illusion of financial prudence. Tamboran's revolving door spins as Joel Riddle exits, and Scott Sheffield enters. The boardroom tango of corporate power continues. As the Beetaloo Basin whispers sweet promises of gas, the only thing fracking harder than the earth is the fragile trust in corporate commitments. Australia's ministers juggle definitions like circus clowns, with YouTube's social media status debated while Big Wiggle twirls for an exemption. As budget scissors snip away at the Forest Service, hikers find themselves navigating trails littered with the debris of governmental neglect. When the wilderness becomes a metaphor for fiscal recklessness, the only trail markers left are the ones pointing toward the next funding debacle. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD Nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. When the stage is set with velvet rhetoric and diplomatic waltzes, the world watches, hoping for more than just a well-rehearsed performance. Beneath the skies, where dreams should soar, a presidential pardon lets Boeing 737 MAX fly past accountability's graveyard with a wink and a nod. Trusting Boeing to regulate itself is like asking a fox to babysit the henhouse. Expect feathers, chaos, and a distinctly unnerving silence from above. The truth teller's ranks thin by 30%, leaving government secrets sweating bullets and chewing nails. When the lie detectors retire, who's left to whisper sweet nothings into the ears of our national paranoia? The windswept shores of northern France cradle makeshift dreams of crossing the Channel, while researchers tally the cost of human perseverance against border politics. As the UK government erects new walls of rhetoric, the refugees' hope is the only currency left, spent nightly in the gamble for a better tomorrow. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD Nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. When compassion is scheduled between bombings, it feels like offering Band-Aids to a burning city, leaving humanity to choke on the ash of its own contradictions. Greece swelters under a merciless sun as flames lick the edges of civilization and firefighters dance on the precipice of inferno, battling 5 major wildfires. When the gods play with matches and the earth smolders, it's a wonder anyone still believes in divine intervention or rain dances. Sometimes all that's left is sweat and prayers. Sudanese Canadians in London find bureaucracy a more formidable opponent than the conflict their loved ones flee, as Ottawa's paperwork tango leaves them stranded. In the land where peace is a mirage, Sam, Graham declares negotiation with Hamas a fantasy, as if conflict were a stock portfolio he can't let go of. warriors with microphones pontificate about endless battles, while the rest of us wonder if their rhetoric is the only thing perpetually inflating. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Trump's tariff tantrum targets India, threatening a 25% levy, as if international trade were a garage sale negotiation. In this geopolitical foreplay, Trump's economic foreplay is like a bull in a textile shop. Chaotic, unsubtle, and someone's definitely getting ripped off. Toronto hands its celestial son, the weekend, a key to the city, unlocking 4 nights of musical indulgence at Rogers Centre. In the throbbing heart of Toronto, where dreams are bought and sold, the weekend holds the key to a city yearning for escape and ecstasy. In the land of the free, where wallets are thinner than hospital gowns, Mass General Brigham uncovers the pandemic shadow, poverty. Thailand and Cambodia, 2 estranged lovers of the geopolitical stage, decide to stop throwing punches and embrace a ceasefire under Malaysia's watchful eye. When the dust settles and the weapons cool, nothing says, "We're sorry," like a hastily arranged peace agreement that feels as sincere as a politician's handshake. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale, and your mind's the currency. Tom Lehrer exits stage left, leaving behind a symphony of satire that echoes like a bitter laugh in a silent room. The man who taught us to laugh at our own absurdity is gone, proving once more that the truth is funny until it's not. Steel tracks turned to twisted metal as a German train's journey ended in a violent embrace with chaos, leaving 3 souls behind. In a world where speed dreams of control, the tracks remind us that momentum's dance can end in a deadly lullaby sung to the rhythm of emergency sirens. North Korea demands Trump acknowledge its nuclear prowess, dangling a meeting like a carrot in a radioactive garden. When your nuclear ego's bigger than your economy, diplomacy becomes a game of who's the bigger bleeping madman in the global sandbox. In a dazzling resurrection, Beyonce summons Destiny's Child from the shadows for a final Cowboy Carter spectacle, a medley of nostalgia and sequins. As the echoes of Say My Name reverberate, the crowd realizes they're witnessing a rare celestial alignment, one that shimmers with the bittersweet thrill of time slipping through perfectly manicured fingers. You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are now available in HD nightmares. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Reality's on sale and your mind's the currency. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news. Not journalism, not truth, fictional satire, resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you probably think cats can vote. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.